Welcome to Sheriff's Talk, a public affairs program of KWN TV7. Join us every week as we talk various aspects of law enforcement and how important it is for the citizens and law enforcement to work together. Now join us for another edition of Sheriff Talk on KWN Live and Local TV Channel 7. And welcome on in to another edition of Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV. Welcome, Sheriff.
Good to be here.
Detectives.
Hi.
Yeah, and welcome you into the program. Welcome everyone at home watching KWN TV here on Sheriff Talk. And we're glad that you were able to be a part of us here today. We're going to talk just a little bit and kind of get caught up. I know, Sheriff, you hadn't been able to be with us in a couple of weeks and got some things to talk about. Well, I guess we'll start with you and find out what's been really happening.
The Sheriff's Christmas thing, turned out great. We, December 19th, all the officers met at Walmart in Kimball, and we had 60 kids, and they shot with a cop, and they did good. Each kid got to spend $175. But what was good about it? I watched a lot of them. They were buying clothes, shoes, socks. Not just old toys that they're going to play with for 2 or 3 weeks and throw in the corner. I mean, I was really tickled to see that. Then Foodland in South Pittsburgh, we got 50 gift cards at $100 a piece and gave out for people to go down and get food right before Christmas. And on following Sunday, I think the 22nd, the officers got together at Justice Center and went all over the county and gave out presents to 40 more kids. So altogether, we helped over 100 kids and then helped 50 families getting food.
Very good. Very good.
That turned out great,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't do that every year unless you have a giving community. And I know that they talked about it. We talked about it here. We live in this tri-state area is very giving.
Everything. All this is, we end up spending about, estimate about $16,000. Every bit of that money comes from people in Marion County. So then we turn around and spend it again back in Marion County because, Walmart, Foodland, a lot of toys were donated. We had about 60 people that donated money and stuff. So a lot of organizations did. So turned out good. We can, in the past we've done it where it was take a month to plan it and work and everything. This way, the officers get there about 5:30. All the kids get there. They put them in carts and take them shopping. And when they come through, they run them through the line and get through, and I pay for it, and we're done. And the food cards, the gift cards, we don't have to handle food or nothing. We just give it to them. They go down and I use this particular place because they don't sell beer or cigarettes. So, and I've worked with them 3 years in a row, so they know about it. So. Helps them out, gives them more business right here at the holidays, and helps me out. So it worked out good.
Very good, very good. That is that's always good. And I know that y'all's hopefully the holidays went over well too. Being able to do that. Anything else that's happened over the last few weeks? We're into a brand new year, new decade.
They had a pursuit last night. It went about 30 miles. Started in Kimball and ended up on Whitwell Mountain. Wrecked a guy and got him in custody. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. I didn't have any cars tore up. I've had a bunch of cars tore up the last 6-7 months, but this guy, they told me the name, and I can't remember who it was, but he had a probation warrant out of Marion County, so he fled, and he crashed about the top of Whitwell Mountain, and I turned it on, hear them all screaming and hollering, but everything turned out good. Nobody got hurt, and no vehicles got tore up. So
awesome.
Yeah, that is good. I mean, I never can figure out why people want to flee from authorities, even if you have a warrant or something, because you're eventually going to get caught.
And it's just going to make it worse.
Yeah, and it's going to make it worse, especially if you can get a tag number, because you know whose vehicle it is, and you could just add more charges, and it does make it worse.
I think this guy was real familiar with everybody that works over there, so it wasn't like he was his first time. Same old thing over and over and over. You have to deal with the same people over and over and over.
Well, you put so many people in danger, you know, and you know, you really don't think about, you know, the amount of people that are in danger because anybody on the road, you know, because I mean, even if you're a good driver, you could have a tire that blew out. You could have all kinds of mechanical problems that go on. And Whipple Mountains, I mean, obviously it's a mountainous road.
You've been up 108, hadn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while, but yes. I mean,
It's a scenic view if you're going up, but I probably wouldn't be too scenic if you was going over the side.
No, not at all. Well, I'm glad everybody was, you know, all the officers were safe and he was safe and, you know, he can stand for the charge.
That's true.
Yeah, that is good. So, anything else before we take our first break that, you know, that
We are
over the last couple of weeks?
in the month of December. I think I read reports where we had used Narcan twice.
Wow.
Saved two people. Had a lady that mother called and officer got there and she was not breathing. Officer used 2 doses of Narcan and actually brought her back too. She was come to and was transported on to the hospital, but I've read reports where we used that twice this month in December. So
Well, that's a wonder drug. I
It
mean, the
is.
years that I was on the
you
ambulance,
just
I mean,
squirt it
we
in
carried
each
it.
nostril, and you know.
Narcan was, you know,
I don't know
someone-
chemically how it works, but it does work.
Well, it was in what we had a little regiment, a protocol. If someone was unconscious, we went down and used, even if it might not be a narcotic that they were unconscious from, we used Narcan anyway because it didn't hurt you. It, you know, it only helps you if you're overdosed on
Yeah, that's
narcotics.
what we had to go through about an hour class before we used it, and that's what that lady said. You know, don't worry if it's a heart attack. Don't worry, it can't hurt them.
That's right.
Go ahead and
It's one of the. I mean, it's a great thing because that drug it's got a short shelf life and it doesn't hurt, but it can only help. It's a good thing.
and we've got a grant. Mayor's office bought 50 of those defibrillators. You know, the little portable.
Wow.
That is great.
We got a grant because he told me because the hospital has shut down probably 80% of its facilities out there. I think you run an ER and do a little bit that we qualify for a grant. So they were $1,000 a piece, and he bought 50. We're in the process of handing those out. And
Well, you'll be tickled, or the folks in Marion County will be tickled because of an officer having that. There's going to be lives saved. That is one of the first things in a heart attack, to be able to deliver a shock.
it's
through
just
the
a
defibrillator.
small box, and you put the things on them.
It recognizes what type of rhythm the heart's in, and the officer or whoever can push the. And these are in a lot of public buildings now.
Oh yeah, we're going to put them in the courthouse, Justice Center, all the public buildings. Plus, each patrol officer is going to have one in his trunk, so we should be, you know, again, you know, you may have to use it next 10 minutes. You may not use it for 2 years. You never know.
Yeah, well, and the fact is, 50 of them over in Marion County, even though it's a big size, that'll be good.
Yeah.
I mean, because the key to it is to get somebody there quick and deliver the shock, and you know, you have positive outcomes the quicker you can get somebody there. And that's the reason, because I mean, obviously you're police officers, even though you have paramedics and you have the ambulances are there, the police officers, there's more of you, and you're covering a wider area, and you got cities, and you got a lot of officers, so the chances are somebody
Somebody's gonna-
like yourself can be there within 2 or 3 minutes, where it may take 7 or 6 minutes
What
for
is
an
that?
ambulance.
You're probably more familiar than I am. What does it do? Shock the heart?
Yes. Mm-hmm. It
So if
basically
it gets out of rhythm, it would shock
right,
it back into rhythm.
exactly. That's
So,
what it does.
is that what they call defib?
Yeah, it's defibrillation. It will hopefully, it basically delivers a shock to be able to stop it, and your heart's supposed to know what to do. You know,
Autonomous beats.
yeah. So you basically said, okay, restart yourself. You know,
It's replacing old things you see in ER stuff.
well,
where
it's
they,
the same thing.
Well, they still
Same
have them.
thing.
Yeah, you know, those are manually operated defibrillators. You're going to have, all your officers are going to have automatic defibrillators.
The safety in that is with an automatic defibrillator, it won't shock unless it's the rhythm that is detected is the one that the shock will do good for. So if it's an asystole or a flatline, defibrillators will not shock that. So you're not doing any more harm. The new defibrillators are a lot like Narcan in that they will only do good. They will never do bad.
And that's, I mean, really, you know, technology has come so far. I mean, the defibrillation and paramedics and ambulance services and ERs, they've been. I mean, defibrillators have been there since
Well, we probably
years,
all,
decades.
We've all worked ERs. I
Right.
mean, especially I worked South Pittsburgh. I mean, they didn't have security, so we actually was their security. And I don't know how many times I've seen them use them things, and they all stand back, and boom.
Well, these are automatic defibrillators, and they'll put the pads, and it will recognize. It'll say stand back, and it'll tell the officer
to you.
to push the button if shock is advised, or they won't.
Well,
if
we
it's
have our
not.
in-service starts in the February, and I talked to Chief Powell yesterday, and we're going to hand them out that day and kind of, I asked the mayor, I said, do we need to put on class? And he said, no, it's got instructions. And I said, well, I don't want to be sitting there
Read
trying to read
instructions.
instructions and
Right. Yeah, I
people
think
screaming and
it'd
hollering.
be good to
Yeah.
walk them
Do
through.
something.
Everybody needs to be familiar with
Right.
it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And at least know what to.
And
that
in
they've
service
done
of
it.
some type, yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. But like again, it can do so much good,
Sure.
and very little harm.
It's like I've seen people jerk out fire extinguishers all excited and get mad because it wouldn't work and forget to pull the pin out. 'Cause,
Yeah.
That's right.
I
Gotta
mean,
be
you
able to do
understand
that.
when you're in a stressful situation. You got, especially when you got something like that, and you might got family standing around, and they really don't know what to do, and they're in a they don't want I want the police to do it, and they're going to be screaming and hollering. So I said, I told the mayor, I said, well, I don't really want to be sitting there reading instructions. I want to know what to do. So,
It just makes sense. Now you got a good training room over there now. You can bring everybody
Oh,
through,
yeah.
run them through, and probably I'm sure Puckett probably would. Their paramedics come over and help y'all do a walkthrough. I would think so.
just
that's
need
good.
volunteers. All we need.
Well, yeah, they'll bring some mechanical
sheriff's not here.
volunteers.
Yeah.
Some mannequins. Yeah, I don't think. And you could do that and your tasing treatment at the training at
Well,
the
we
same
actually
time. I
when
guess.
we do now. We shoot a dummy. We don't shoot each other no more.
Oh no.
Oh, they
That's
haven't
no
been shot
fun.
anymore? To carry one you didn't?
No, they just do that. I think you might touch tase them a little bit, but when you come out with that, when you first started, you had to be shot, and then
I got a shot.
Yep.
when you get with spray, pepper
got
spray,
spray.
Ooh.
I thought I was going to die. When I got pepper
Oh
spray
my
about 30
goodness.
years
Yeah,
ago.
that spray.
I said, and they want you to do that because they want you to know what effect it has on this person.
It's
And
it's
it worked.
good.
Right? They had
but-
buckets of water, and we dove into them. I thought I couldn't get my breath with that pepper spray. It was just,
Well, that is some great news. And when you get those, bring one over,
Okay.
and we'll show folks what you're gonna.
we'll
you're
hook the
gonna
sheriff up with and test it
There
on
you
that
go.
That's it.
on
That's
there.
me.
There you go. We won't tell him what day you're bringing it. Say we got this new thing, Sheriff.
Tells you the lottery numbers. All you got to do is push it button.
We're going to take a break. More Sheriff Talk coming up.
Gigabit Internet residential service is now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber in Jackson and Marshall County. Residential gig service is now available for only $79.95. Call today to have your gig service installed at 256-437-5000. High-speed fiber residential gig internet service now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber. Business and commercial customers can get gig service too. Call for pricing 256-437-5000. Gig service from North Alabama Electric Co-op. 256-437-5000.
For the best deals on a Chevy, any time of day, roll on down to Riverside Chevrolet.
Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC, the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty, has a 2019 Buick Envision, MSRP $36,395. Riverside price $31,32, a savings of over $6,000, or receive 0% for 72 months with a $500 rebate. We make buying so easy.
Roll on down to Riverside Chevrolet.
Located off I-24 West, Kimball, Tennessee.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Give your town a reason to celebrate. Because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home.
When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Mr. Rooter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV. It's always, Cody and I were talking about this earlier this morning when we were preparing for this segment of the show. He said, he's brought up, well, it should be without talking about it, and it's true. Common sense should play a part in this, but we had an officer in Dade County on 24 and 59 working an accident. We're going to show the photos here of an accident. He was sitting on the side of the road and working an accident with his lights on.
Yep.
And a car hit him.
Yep.
We
see a lot. Well, we don't necessarily in Dade County, but nationally, we see a lot of people getting hit on the side of the road. There are times when you can't get over due to traffic congestion. But honestly, 98% of the time, you're going to see those blue lights. And if you start thinking about how to get over to the left, you can get over to the left before you hit somebody.
It's a law. It's a move-over law.
It is.
And if the cars are sitting on the side of the road, if they're sitting in the emergency lane on the right-hand side of the road, and you're on the interstate, it's 2-lane. It doesn't say, well, I can pass on the right-hand side. You got to move over one lane.
Yes,
there needs to be
If
one
possible.
cleared lane as far as the law is concerned.
I had a friend a few years ago got cited in Nashville for the violation move over law, and he told me, he said it was rainy like this morning, and the Metro officer had a car stopped, and he had already released that car, and he said, I knew what the law was, and I was going to scoot over, but there's so much traffic beside me because it's like 4 lanes going through Nashville, 5 lanes. I couldn't get over, and when I went by, they stopped me and wrote me a ticket, and he told me, he said, I'm going to go to court and contest it. And I said, well, I ain't doing nothing that day. I'll ride over with you. And then we went over, and the officer got up and said the same thing. Judge said, well, I'm sorry, you're still guilty. He said he could have paid it online and saved $2. And we drove all the way to Nashville and back, still had to pay a $132 fine.
Well,
But I know this guy.
$500 fine.
I knew this guy, and he told me, he said, I would have got over. He said, I looked in my mirror, and he said, there's no place for me to go. I could stop, and I would have caused a wreck, and I couldn't get over. And he said, even the officer got up and testified to that, and just still found him guilty.
Well, you got this. Obviously, there's
I
nobody
think
hurt.
most people are educated about the move over law.
It's one of those things that probably you don't think about it a lot, but most people should know it by now because it's universal across the country. I don't know any state that doesn't have a move over law.
A lot of times people, from my take on it as a law enforcement officer, a lot of times when people are in a lane, they don't want to change. They're in that lane, they're moving. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the side of the road with my lights on, writing a ticket or working an accident or something, and there's nobody in the left lane, and people will just drive right beside me, you know, on
Well,
in the right lane.
to me, that's so dangerous.
If you're
is.
sitting there on the side of the interstate and it's a truck, when they come by,
Yeah,
they,
you
they,
just
they
you
shake
feel
everything.
the whole car just.
It almost pulls you out in the interstate, don't
It
You sit
sure
there.
does.
Well, I
The
mean,
best thing to do if you got a car stopped and you're behind and you're on the interstate is get over here. Get in between the two cars. I mean, those videos
don't
you
step
seen
in
where
between 'em.
officers had to jump, keep from getting crushed between
Yeah,
two cars.
yeah.
well, it's very dangerous, and of course, obviously, no one was hurt. The officer was sitting in the car. He was waiting on I think he was waiting on a state trooper to come and work the accident. It was on the interstate, and so he was out, and another car hit. They were able to stop the other car, and he was issued a citation, of course. The state trooper, issued, but it's a move over law, and it just be reminded of that. But I'm on the radio every morning from 6 to 9, and we do a lot of traffic reports every 10 minutes, and we watch a lot of those TDOT cameras. And you'll be surprised that, maybe not, but I'll see a wreck in the middle of the interstate. And folks will not, until the officers get there, they're going around in all kinds of different directions. They may be two cars sitting right smack dab in the middle of the interstate, and they'll go around any way they can.
Yep.
And
They're not going to be slowed down.
I don't understand
But they
because it's
showed-
dangerous.
I was watching the news this morning, local news, and they're showing the cameras on the Ridge Cut, and they had a
There was a
truck.
wreck on the Ridge Cut. Yeah.
But they showing one car stopped and got in the emergency lane, was backing back down the interstate trying to, and that reporter said, "Look at that."
Yeah, it's so dangerous to be able to be able to do that, and I've seen it, but it's a move over law. Just want to remind everybody. Obviously, no one was hurt. There was some damage to the vehicle, and they'll get all that taken care of. But I know that I don't know how much damage there. I mean, you look at a cattle guard there, and that could be $5,000 worth of damage. Who
Easy.
knows?
Don't take much anymore.
But new Tahoes are on the way for Dade County. They're going to go to Tahoes, I believe, and I think the city of Trenton's going to Tahoes too, aren't they?
They are.
I like that, and I think Jackson County's got some Tahoes that are in DeKalb.
Yeah,
I believe.
I've seen some Explorers and some Tahoes.
I like that. All right. Well, we just want to remind everybody about that. Is the fact that it is a state law, and it's to move over one lane.
Yep.
And
it's the right thing to do.
It is.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't want that on your conscience where you hit somebody just because you thought you were in a hurry.
And that applies to before the officer gets there. If there's a wreck there on the side, move over one lane. It applies to state vehicles. It applies to
EMS,
police officers, fire, ambulance, everybody.
How would you want somebody to pass by your daughter if they were stuck, or your son if they were stuck on the side of the road or in the middle of the road? How would you want someone to pass by?
Absolutely. Got another break coming up. More Sheriff Talk on the way here on KWN TV. Check out these exciting specials going on right now at Cloud Auto Sales, Highway 71 in Higdon. A 2003 Dodge Ram pickup 1500 four-door with all the buttons, only $49.95. A 2007 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 four-door extended cab, only $69.95. Hurry by to see us today. Warranties are available. Highway 71 in Higdon. Like us on Facebook, 597-3273. Rayburn Cloud. Come on by before you buy. CloudAutoSales.com.
At Comfort Gallery in Kimball, comfort is the key. And the key to making it easier to sleep, sit, and stand is a new PowerLift chair from Catnapper. Catnapper's PowerLift chairs feature comfort coil seating for long-lasting comfort and a powerful yet smooth, quiet motor. Some models even include heat and massage. It's really comfort at the touch of a button. See the full selection today when you visit Comfort Gallery. Free delivery and setup, 1 year free layaway, and 6 and 12 months same as cash. Available at Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street, 1 mile north of I-24, exit 152A, Kimball, Tennessee.
Hey, that cold weather is coming, and it's never too early to get your winter supplies from Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Everything you need to wrap pipes under the house, winterize around the doors. Make sure your outside faucets are protected, and keep those drafts from coming through the windows. Get your supplies for fall and winter for the home and farm today. Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Telephone 706-462-2071. Have lunch or dinner at Guthrie's, home of the original Golden Fried Chicken Finger and the best chicken finger sauce in the world. Guthrie's can help you plan your family's meals or get-togethers with bucket specials every Tuesday, those delicious wings on Wednesday, and platters every day of the week. Plus, get sweet tea by the gallon. Remember, Guthrie's has a party room for small gatherings, too. Guthrie's, Highway 136 West in Trenton, home of those Golden Fried Chicken Fingers and the best chicken finger sauce in the world.
Guthrie's, not fast food, good food fast.
You quit smoking and thought, that's that. But here's the thing about lung cancer. By the time you see the symptoms, it could be too late. But now, there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early, when it's more curable. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
All right, back to Sheriff Talk here on KWN. I want to talk for y'all just a minute. Last year we did, of course, the Share Your Heart with a Hero campaign.
Mm-hmm.
We collected almost 2,500 heart-shaped boxes of candy for the fire, police, and EMS around the tri-state area. We're doing that again this year. Our collection will start in about a week. We'll give you all the details on where you can help. The Park Ridge Health Systems are going to be a co-sponsor along with the Food Cities of the Greater Chattanooga area and Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep that y'all went to last year. So we look forward to collect. We want to do over 2,500 this year, and to get it's a gesture where we collect heart-shaped boxes of candy and make sure these guys, along with paramedics and firefighters in the tri-state area and the counties, as Dade, Walker, Catoosa, Marion, and Hamilton County is where we'll do again this year. So we're excited. We're excited about the partnership with News 12. They're going to be back on board with us. And I know both of these guys were over at in Ringgold when we did the initial distribution, and we'll do that again this year at Mountain View Chrysler. And Chip Chapman done the news over there that day. But the Park Ridge Medical Systems in Marion County, and then the 2 in Chattanooga are coming on board as a co-sponsor of the event. So we're tickled with that. Share Your Heart with a Hero, and I think it's a good opportunity for us, our local heroes. And one thing we are adding this year, and I wish that we had them in our 2 counties, Marion and Dade. Mm-hmm. We're going to add and make sure that all of our guys on the TDOT trucks get a heart this year, because they do a outstanding. A lot of times they're the hero when you're broke down on the side of the interstate.
And we don't have one here.
You know, they have in Atlanta, they have the Hero trucks. Matter of fact, that's what they're called down there. But yeah, you're right. On our interstate, they don't. And
Well, see, they're not allowed to come into Marion County, so they had to stop the county line. They work 24 from Marion County all the way through Chattanooga and stuff. Of course, I don't know why they don't come, but I for some reason they stop them. Don't let them come in. On the
they probably stay within the certain metro.
Yeah, there's probably, you know, I understand there's probably a whole lot more people broke down, more traffic going through Chattanooga and 75 than over in 24. But you know, like you said, if you broke down, I'll be glad to see them.
Well,
actually, they'll give you gas or anything.
I was sitting in traffic in East Ridge on 24 westbound, heading towards the Ridge Cut, and had been there. Well, y'all have been in this traffic, I know, where you're going about 2 miles an hour and you stop and 2 miles an hour, and evidently I was low on water, and if you don't speed up enough to keep everything going, my car overheated, and this had just been about 3 months ago, and I got to the top of the Ridge Cut and I realized I pulled over. And I thought, well, because traffic was just barely moving. I did not know that you can call them on your phone. And you can call them direct. I didn't know that. But I thought, there'll be a truck by in a minute. And because I was right by a camera, and I know that they monitor these cameras. And it wasn't 15, 20 minutes. There was a TDOT truck showed up, had water, filled it up, got me on the road and everything, and
that's really good.
You know, it was pretty cool. You know, but they do a lot of good. I watch them on the TDOT cameras in the morning. They'll get on the scene of a wreck with no injuries, and they're quick. They'll pull those cars out of the road. You know, they'll just yank them over to the side. They get that interstate back open quick, as quick as they can. I hope at some point in time, and I know that there's a lot of cost involved, has to be, but it would be good to have it on all the interstates.
Absolutely.
Be able to do that. But anyway, we're going to add them this year, and I think that, they're definitely one of the heroes out there. They're working side by side with emergency services in the area that they cover. Yes. You know, a lot of times they're the first ones on the scene. So that's pretty cool. So share your heart with a hero. All the local heroes of the tri-state area, Dade, Walker, Catoosa, Marion, and Hamilton County. We're going to be starting to collect those, and we're going to need your help to be able to do that. We're going to be doing some live remotes in Chattanooga at some of the food cities where you can buy the hearts if you don't want to donate money or whatever. And we're going to see if we can't get more than 25. It was almost 2,500.
That's really good.
Oh, you were there. We had a lot of hearts.
A lot of hearts.
Yeah, so it was good. And I brought your department, the ones over, and we hope to expand that and get more than 2,500 this year. So
great.
That is good. All right, share your heart with a hero. It's going to be just around the corner. We'll talk more about that. We're going to take another break. We'll be back after this.
Come hungry and leave satisfied at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon. Cloud's Pizza uses only the freshest ingredients, and we hand toss our own pizza dough. Our pizzas are made from scratch when you order, so they're always fresh. And don't forget about our famous Sand Mountain cheese sticks. You can eat from the daily buffet or try a mouth-watering hamburger or cheeseburger. Come see your friends at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon, and never leave hungry. Call ahead at 597-3100 for Cloud's Pizza. Visit us on Facebook at Cloud's Pizza and more.
Come see us at Cloud's Pizza.
The Big Jet Fly. We're caught in a trap one of these nights.
Love will keep us together. In the name of love.
Ow, she's our breath. Ow.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older?
The Big Jet Fly. WFI.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O's for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
When you or a loved one is facing a life-limiting illness, hospice care may be the answer. At Tapestry Hospice, the patient is the focus of our care. We are here to serve you and facilitate your wishes. Tapestry caregivers are concerned with managing your pain, keeping you in touch with your physician, and helping you make plans for the future. Hospice is life-affirming, and Tapestry Hospice can help you deal with all aspects of life, mind, body, and soul. Call Tapestry Hospice for more information. 706-383-8812. That's 706-383-8812. Tapestry Hospice. Redefining hope. Can you gig it? Oh, yes, you can. We know you've been waiting for a long time, and now Tennessee Valley Net is bringing it to you. Gigabit internet service now available in certain areas of Dade County. Not just fast, super fast internet service now available from Tennessee Valley Net. People are talking, I mean really smiling about gig speed internet available in limited areas from Tennessee Valley Net. Call today at 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net and see if gig speed is available where you are. We know you'll gig it from Tennessee Valley Net.
Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV. And of course, this station is now streaming anywhere, and you don't have to have cable. You don't have to have any of the normal systems to be able to watch. We are now streaming everywhere on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Fire Stick on Amazon. So tell your friends, if they've cut the cable, we are there. It's called the app that you need to download is iTV Chattanooga. TV Chattanooga. You can watch not only us but other television. You can watch this show on demand. So if you don't get a chance to watch it when we do it live this weekend, you can go to on demand at ITV Chattanooga, KWN on demand, and be able to watch this show. So just trying to keep up with the time.
I'm that person that we have a smart TV in our bedroom, and we had signed up for Netflix, and my wife kept throwing a fit because we had it for a while, then it went away, and then I didn't know that I changed cable companies, and it's all. Not direct, but what do you call it? Or
internet delivery.
Wi-Fi.
Internet, yeah.
Wi-Fi. Well, anyhow, Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
They put one unit in the house, and everything else. If you have another box, it runs off the internet.
Right.
Well, we was trying to figure it out Saturday, and I don't know anything about it, and she don't either. So we called Netflix, and then they said, "Well, you're not getting internet." And I assume that if you have a wireless router in your house and you had a smart TV, that it would pick up the signal.
No, you have to set it up.
Yeah.
I do. I know that now.
Sorry, Sheriff.
Well, I finally called the company that our TV was made by and got this guy, and he was in not Russia, but Philippines or somewhere like that. But he was the nicest guy, and he walked me through it, and we got hooked back up with our, like I said, I assumed that if you had a wireless router, your TV would pick up the signal.
Yeah.
But I had to go in there and actually put my password in and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I did, it come up, and I said,
"There you go."
There I go. But that's what we were talking about off there. On the TV this morning, I see where Windows 7 is not, as of today, you're more or less on your own.
Yep.
My computer at work is a Windows 7, so I guess I'm going to have to go through the process of changing over. But because there's no safeguards or nothing, they say if you do anything on the internet, you're subject to hacking or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Excuse me.
I guess I'm going to have to do something this week.
Well, I mean, and
Of course, we got technicians that come in and do it because I couldn't do anything.
You just have to make the phone call.
I got to make a phone and pay the bill.
Yeah, pay the bill.
Right.
I heard that. And that's true. I mean, everything is going to internet delivered services.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Well, this morning I had to meet the termite company in a building to do their yearly inspection, and when the guy got through, I said, "You need me signing something?" He said, "No, we do it all by laptop or hit
all online." Yeah.
Whole thing scares me about that if we ever have somebody come here and shut the whole system down.
If the internet goes away, we'll have to.
We're in trouble. Ain't
Yeah.
we?
Well, we may not, and I'm going to say this: we may not because we're old enough to be able to. We
Yeah.
can
Hand
go out
right.
here
We
and
could function
plant
without
a
it.
garden if we had
That's
to.
Mm-hmm.
The younger folks, yeah, they're in trouble.
Well, I'm talking about everything. I mean,
Yeah.
everything's run off.
Oh,
the
yeah.
internet.
ATMs, the banks. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Technology.
You know, Grandpa wasn't always wrong when he kept a bunch of money in the bib of his overhauls.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you
You're
know, because
Never
that
know.
money's going
You
to
never know.
spend long after your card don't swipe no more.
I remember
That's
years
right.
ago they brought an old fella in the ER and he had overalls on and he'd had a heart attack and he may have passed away. But anyhow, the thing I can remember was they was checking his pockets, make sure, and that nurse pulled out a wad of money.
Oh yeah.
She said, "What's he doing with all this?" And I said, "Older people like that
Yes.
carried money. You know, they
I
don't leave
I
credit
can't tell you the
cards."
number
No.
of people that when I was on the ambulance that had money.
But you stand in
Usually in the bib, if they had overhauls, they'd have some money
But
somewhere.
you stand in line. You stand in line at the grocery store, and there'll be a 10 or 12-year-old kid in front of you. And when he gets through, he flips his credit card out. And I'm sitting there going,
What?
I didn't know what a credit card was when I was 12-year-old.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
No, I mean,
anymore-
definitely times have changed.
Anymore today, you've even got apps on your phone. You've got little things that you can download, Venmo and different pay apps that I never even really heard of. But you can actually send something to somebody across the nation on this thing called Venmo. You can send $10 to anybody as long as you know. It'd be like an email.
Yeah.
It'll go out of your account into their account like that.
I've just figured PayPal out in the last couple of weeks, so I'm still.
it's a lot like
Well,
PayPal.
Venmo's a lot more advanced though.
But
A
that's
buddy of
also-
mine kept, and I get where I've ordered. I'm starting to order more things online, and he encouraged me to set up a PayPal account, but he says because they have, if you have any liability problems, whatever,
They do
he
it.
says they're good about handling it.
Sure.
So I've just done that here in the last month. I'm learning.
Well, I mean, and as the technology is great, but I mean, y'all are the perfect ones to talk about. There is negative and criminal activity that happens on the internet
But they're
all
doing
the
a pretty
time.
good job of counteracting that because a buddy of mine says that, when he used his credit card at a restaurant, and I'm always fearful about handing the man or the lady my credit card and then go ring it up. But he says now they got an app that, on his phone, as soon as it goes through, it'll come up on his phone, $48 at so-and-so's restaurant or whatever. He knows that they didn't try
Well,
to
I've
hack
got
it.
online banking, and I can check, and tell almost immediately after I've paid something.
Or you can also, like with Regions, that's who I bank with, on their app, you can freeze your card.
Yeah.
Where nobody can use it
Right. If
until
you-
you
if you was
unfreeze
to
it,
lose
use
it or
it, and then
something.
no, even if like you're going out of town or something.
Okay.
You freeze
Well,
it.
and I'll tell you what had happened. And this is many years ago. This was early on in the credit card stage, but this happened, and I was glad that it did after I thought about it. But we flew out of Chattanooga. We were going to Disney World. Well, I bought something at the airport. I think the kids, wanted to drink or something. So, one of the restaurants there. So we bought something at the airport. And then we got on the plane and we flew to Atlanta and then we flew to Orlando. Okay. Well, that doesn't take no more than a couple of hours, even through the airports and whatever. So we're in Orlando and we're fixing to go, and we had got to the hotel and we went to, it was about 2.5 hours. Well, we went and ate. Well, our credit card was declined. And I thought, okay, I'm in Florida, I'm in Orlando, a long way from Trenton, Georgia. And, I thought, what in the world? And so, I called the little number on the back and said, well, Mr. Stone said it was canceled or put on hold because we saw you had your card had a purchase in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and one in Orlando, Florida, and there's not enough time frame
to get there.
To be there. So we thought it was fraudulent.
That's good.
And they went ahead and took it off, but this was 15 years ago. This was a long time ago.
They were ahead of the game.
They were ahead of the game.
right.
I mean, it was a credit card.
Yeah.
It wasn't a debit card. Or, debit cards really wasn't thought about. Then maybe in 20 years ago, but that happened to me, and I thought, what am I going to do in Florida if this thing won't work? You know, but that's what it was, and I was glad they did it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
But I had no idea they would do it. So,
But it is inconvenient.
You know, and evidently on their computer system, it drew a grid. You know, that this card can only be used within a 2-hour radius or something. You know, so that was a little interesting. But I thought, well. But anyway, they were real nice, and they took it off immediately. But it was for my protection,
Right.
you know, or actually probably for their protection because they would be liable if somebody stole the card and used it somewhere.
You know, it amazes me. I was talking to this person now that when they buy their groceries, they go online, Walmart, put in what all they want, pay for it. They pull up, and then they send a message, I'm outside, and they bring everything outside. And I thought, we're getting lazy. You know?
Well, now my daughter does that. Well, no, it's not that. She's got 2 little ones.
Yeah.
So if you go in Walmart, I won't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know, you're standing at the candy aisle, so she does that, so they don't have to both get out of the car.
Well,
they're little, like 2 and 4.
We know Amazon is working on a program where they're going to deliver packages by drone someday.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
heard
sometime a drone will come down and drop your package off on the porch. And I thought, I don't know.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Well, you know, technology. I mean, it's
Good and
there.
bad.
You can't keep up. You
It's
can't keep
there.
up.
So
It's all good and bad.
yeah.
Well, I was reading where the drone that killed that general in Iran, Iraq. Well, actually, a young guy sitting in the office in Miami, Florida, was directing it. Somebody told me that. I don't know how true it was. You know?
Yeah, you can put it. They have mobile like stations like that. You could put anywhere. They're
Somebody told me that they heard that the guy that actually, you know, detonated and killed the guy was actually sitting in Florida in the office and was like panels, you know, directing. And
Yep, could be.
Quite
They could
possible.
be anywhere in the world. Yep.
Well, I mean, technology is wonderful. I mean, there's no doubt
If you
about
can
it.
keep up with it.
Something was happening the other day. We were thinking something happened about getting a text or something. It reminded me of remember when the pagers were everything? And
I
pagers
do.
were it. Everybody had a pager, you know.
You have to stop at a payphone.
You know,
to
those
make
things,
that call.
you know, they'd go off, you know.
I carried one for a long time.
I did too.
Yeah.
I
you
did
know,
too.
when I first started, we had a list of all the phone booths in town. You know, and we had them like A, B, dispatch say, and they talk to you, and I say, I'm at section B, C, call me, and if you miss phone ring, you know.
Yeah.
That's a
Was that
great
not
thing.
true?
Sheriff, we didn't have that problem. We only had one payphone.
We only had
Square.
3.
Did you really?
We only had 3, so we weren't that bad, you know.
Oh,
I'd like to have one of them phone booths. You remember you walk in there and pull the door?
Yeah, the light come on.
Can you remember the ones inside the buildings?
oh yeah.
Restroom stuff, you know, you go in and sit down and pull it.
You
still
know, I
have some
think
at the
there's a
YouTube.
few.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I think there's a few around. I'm not really sure how many that are still in Day County, if any. That'd be an interesting thing to find out. But I think they do still have some downtown.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's just like the parking meters. They used to have parking meters you put coins in. Now you can swipe your card.
Yep.
Coins or card?
You don't have
Yeah.
to.
Or
You know.
or point your phone at it and
Yeah.
tell your phone to pay
Apple
it.
Pay.
Yeah.
That's
It's amazing.
way above my pay grade.
What's it going to be like in 10 more years?
I don't know.
That's the thing. Technology is
Yeah, use
great
your
if you can
thumbprint.
keep up with it.
Right. It does keep on. All right. Going to take another break, our last break of the morning, and we'll have more Sheriff Talk coming up.
The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve.
Landers McClarty Ford, home of America's hardest working truck in Fort Payne, Alabama, invites you to start the new year off right with a 2019 Ford F-150. 0% financing for 72 months and up to $15,000 off selected F-150s in stock. See Landers McClarty Ford for complete details. Landers McClarty Ford at 1916 Glen Boulevard in Fort Payne, Alabama, or shop on the web at Landers McClarty Ford, FortPayne.net.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
A small bank with big service. Citizens Bank and Trust, offering a wide range of services, including online banking. Pay your bills, manage your account anytime, 24 hours a day. Your account balance is only a phone call away as well at 657-1234. Or visit our convenient locations. Lookout Mountain, Georgia, Higdon, Alabama, or our main branch on Highway 11 in Trenton. Citizens Bank and Trust, 657-5678. A community bank that believes in the community. Citizens Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Come enjoy pizza for lunch or dinner in a family-friendly atmosphere at Stevie B's Pizza in Fort Payne. Enjoy the buffet and salad bar anytime or have a specialty pizza made to order. At Stevie B's, take advantage of Two-Stamp Tuesday for adult and senior buffets and Thirsty Thursdays when drinks are free after 4 p.m. Take out any medium pizza weekdays between 2 and 5 for just $4.49. And on the weekends, take out any 2 large pizzas just $14.99. Book your parties now by calling Stevie B's at 256-979-1234. Stevie B's Pizza, 2200 Galt Avenue North, Fort Payne.
Back now to Sheriff Talk this week on KWN. Well, Sheriff, LSU got it done.
They did.
Yeah.
I actually went to bed fourth quarter. I could tell they were going to wear them out. And I didn't want to see Clemson get beat that bad, so I just went on to bed. And what ended up 48-25 or something like that.
Yeah,
46-25.
Yeah, something like that.
You could tell they were just more powerful, more talented.
I was, that first quarter, it looked like Clemson was
gonna
be the
make it.
going to be
the competition.
Some really competition.
Yeah.
Just didn't work out that way.
Because the defense for Clemson really was doing a number on
those
LSU early.
Both those coaches seem like real nice guys.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are. But the only really downside to it, it's all over until August now.
I know.
For everybody, there's no more college football.
You got 2 games this weekend, and after that, Super Bowl, then it's all over.
And Tennessee's playing this weekend.
Yeah,
Playing
the
Kansas City.
Ravens.
They're 1 win away from the Super Bowl.
Oh, by the way, I don't know. Have you been to the new restaurant on Jasper Highlands?
No, I have not.
I went last Thursday. It's worth the view. It's a nice place. Top of the Rock, it's called.
Yeah.
It's actually the restaurant and a winery, then have a health spa, then the gates to go into the development.
So it's right outside.
It's on the public side.
Okay.
But I had some gift cards, and we went to our last Thursday, and then if you go to the back side of the restaurant, they got big decks built, and you can see right down through the valley. And Nice.
How was the food?
Well, I knew that. I guess they got just a regular menu. You'd be able to. Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. May have to go over there. I saw where they were opening.
Yeah.
But
I think it's been open about a month now.
Good deal. Well, Tennessee, it's going to be a tough climb to get past Kansas City.
Oh, I don't think. I just seen Kansas City last week. I don't think it can.
Well, I don't think anybody thought they'd beat Brady and then who they played last week either.
Everybody's trying to get Brady to retire, aren't they? That's all you hear. Oh, he's done. He's washed up.
He says he's not.
I don't know. He's still pretty competitive.
Yeah, one of those deals. And we heard yesterday talking about somebody. He didn't have any choice. They fired him, and that's the Astros manager. Because of the supposedly some improper things, stealing signs, I believe, from yesterday.
Fired him and the general manager.
Yeah,
they were going to suspend him for a year, but
I think Major League Baseball suspended him.
Then
for
the
a
owner
year,
come in and just
the
fired
owners
him.
just come in and got rid of him. So probably give him that's
But I'm sure in their contract, it probably they probably didn't have to give him any extra money.
Severance or anything.
Yeah, they probably just got rid of him because there's probably a clause in the contract about that.
Well, you'd think they would be.
I've heard people say those contracts are like 50 pages thick. Probably have to have 5 lawyers figure it out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is for sure. But we'll have to see this coming weekend.
I seen something this morning that I didn't understand. They had a guy on there that teaches financial classes, and he was an ex-pro football player, but I think that percentage was 75 or 80% of the pro football players end up going bankrupt because they don't know how to handle
absolutely.
money. I didn't realize it's that high, but they was talking about they just just don't know how all of a sudden you got $20 million dumped on you, you don't know what to do, and but you think making $40-50 million a year you wouldn't go bankrupt, but I guess you can.
Well, they say I think I've heard Dave Ramsey talk about this. The average NFL player is in bankruptcy within 3 to 5 years
after retirement.
That's so sad.
Because once they get used to that money,
that lifestyle,
it's hard for them to scale back to $1 million a year in their retirement.
Yep.
I mean, when you're used to $15 million a year and you got to live on $1 million a year. I mean,
that's terrible. Have to live on $1 million a year.
I wish somebody let me try it. I think I can make it.
And I'm sure it's like everybody else. I mean, probably before you got law enforcement, and now you got a lot more friends than you realize you had, because I'm a friend of the sheriff. It's the same way. If somebody's got $20 million in an NFL player, I'm sure they got third cousins coming out of the woodwork wanting to. I got an idea for you.
Same way with the lottery. If you was hit the lottery, right. I've been told that you're just swamped with fourth cousins and fifth cousins. And,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, and I've heard the same thing. A lot of folks that win a lot of money in the lottery, they'll file bankruptcy with just a few years. Because they get all of this money and then they don't know how to, and everybody is probably saying along with the other thing, well, I wish I had it and then I'd try. Yeah. But, it does, you got to be able to manage it.
And they'd be like that guy that won it in the interview and said, you won the lottery, so what are you going to do? And he said, I'm going to buy me a couple acres and put a double wide.
Well,
he was serious about it. He thought that double wide trailer was the greatest thing there was.
Well, what's the comedy? The guy that James Gregory calls himself the greatest comedian in the world or whatever. He said, how come they don't have double or two-story mobile homes for people that's got money? I thought that was interesting.
That's right.
And I've always said too that the old guy was asked. He said, "Well, what if somebody gave you $1 million? What would you do with it?" He said, "Well, I guess I'd pay it on my bill as far as it'd go."
That's right. That's right.
We'll see you next week. Thanks for being here and being a part of Sheriff Talk. Have a good week, everyone. You've been watching Sheriff Talk, live from the studios of KWN TV7, all around the tri-state area, as we give you information that you can use concerning law enforcement. Join us again next week for another episode of Sheriff Talk, a public affairs program of KWN TV7.